The Elephant and the Pebble Road. There was an elephant named Anura whose strength was unmatched and whose steps made the ground tremble beneath him. But one thing troubled him endlessly. Pebbles. Yes, pebbles. Small, insignificant stones that dotted the paths of the savannah like nothing more than a nuisance. Every time Anura tried to walk, his mighty feet would crush the pebbles, sending them scattering in all directions. It irritated him to no end. "Why must these tiny stones be in my way?" he would grumble as he lumbered through the jungle, his massive feet scraping against the rough ground. "What good are these pebbles? They only slow me down." One day, after a long, exhausting journey, Anura found himself at the base of a steep, rocky hill. He looked up, and a wave of frustration washed over him. The hill was tall, its jagged rocks and slippery surface appearing almost insurmountable. He'd climbed mountains before, but this was something different. And to make matters worse, the path was filled with pebbles, those same tiny stones that had driven him mad for so long. With a deep sigh, he set his gaze forward. Why must I face this challenge? Why do I have to deal with these annoying pebbles? And yet, with no other choice, he began to climb. His large, sturdy legs pressed against the ground, each step challenging him. The pebbles, as he feared, were everywhere. They rolled beneath his feet, shifting and sliding. Anura's steps were unsteady at first, his enormous weight causing him to stumble. Each pebble felt like a small battle, and every slip was a reminder of his earlier complaints. But as he continued, something strange happened. With every stumble, the pebbles, those very stones that had annoyed him, began to form a steady base beneath his feet. Each small stone, once a source of irritation, now supported his massive body, offering traction where none existed before. The more he moved, the more he realized the pebbles were not his enemy. He paused for a moment, standing still on the hillside. He looked around and saw the trail of pebbles beneath him, perfectly scattered across the path like a mosaic. They weren't just obstacles, they were stepping stones. Literally. They allowed him to continue up the hill, where before he might have slipped and fallen. The weight of his body, combined with the delicate balance of the pebbles, created a rhythm. Step by step, the climb became easier, more manageable. Anura's frustration turned to understanding. With each careful step, he realized that the pebbles, small and seemingly insignificant, had actually helped him ascend to new heights. They had given him the support he needed when the path was too steep, the rocks too slick. As he reached the summit, the wind kissed his skin, and he gazed out over the savannah below. His heart swelled with pride, not just for conquering the mountain, but for seeing the pebbles for what they truly were. Not obstacles, but blessings in disguise. A deep sense of gratitude filled his chest. The very thing he had once hated had become his greatest ally. He had learned a valuable lesson that day. Sometimes what we see as burdens are the very things that help us grow. Anura smiled to himself and whispered, perhaps the pebbles weren't so bad after all. And as he stood there, high above the world, he knew that every challenge in life, no matter how small or large, had its purpose. The trick was to see it for what it was and use it to your advantage. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help our channel grow.